Mm. Hello, magnetic feminine leaders. Steph Lane coming to you, transformational coach for feminine leaders ready to awaken their power. Hi. My block's here. I'm getting like old where you like need a pillow behind your back, but it's okay. I can hang out for a little bit. So if you don't know, now you know. The Dark Goddess Mastermind is open. And what I love about launching is you should get a taste of your own medicine. You get a taste of what you're going through, what you're pushing, what you're creating, what's coming through you. And being in that energetic integrity of what you're creating and what you're putting out there is real, is true, and is a must. It's a must, it's a must, it's a must. And the Dark Goddess, hi love, hi Krista. The Dark Goddess process to manifest anything. For a very long time, I thought that my sadness, I couldn't lead from my sadness. I couldn't lead from my anger, from my rage. I felt like I always had to be put together or smiley or wearing makeup, which I am wearing makeup today, but smiley, wearing makeup. And then I used to go on to my videos back in the day and like you probably could see some of them like, hey everyone, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I have this amazing incredible product. But very, very bro marketer, right? It's like in your face, just being truly not myself, truly not the self. And that is not what we're craving anymore. We see the illusion, we see the fakeness, we understand that social media can be a facade. There's a screen. We're all playing a game. However, the game of playing and being in your darkness is so much more fun when you can tap into that beauty, when you can tap into it and start to create your manifestation. I'm going to go through a 3-step process today on how to manifest anything through your darkness. What needs to come up? Oh yeah, today I wrote a post. I want to read it. The post that I wrote about clients saying, I tried it, it didn't work. I launched a thing and nobody bought it. I did a few stories, I did a webinar, nobody's noticing. So what does that mean? Nobody's interested, so I'm just going to move on. And while this came up multiple times this week with clients, the thing is, and you're like doing all the action, you're making all the moves, you're doing it, but you're not getting the results that you want. There's a couple things. What happens is you are being in your needy energy. Nobody likes a clinger. Nobody likes needy energy. It's just done, right? And so what ends up happening is you feel, and you might not admit this to yourself, you feel rejected by others, which we know nobody can reject you but yourself. So that brings it back to the self. How are you rejecting you? Because when you're rejecting yourself in some way or capacity, that means that you're not getting the results that you want. And then therefore you're using your results as a way of not feeling worthy of continuing or moving forward. And this is such a deep, there's so much construct to it, but this is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. Like the professionals know how to use that energy. So just say you feel rejected, right? How can I actually take that rejection and use it to be like, I am going to be egotistical, for example. Let's go the other extreme. And I'm going to love myself so much, Kanye West style, right? You're going to love yourself. You're going to hold yourself. I'm just like fantastic. Like today in my journal, I wrote, I am a fucking genius. Like I wrote that. I'm a genius today. And I actually believe that. And to some people, they'll think, oh, that's egotistical. Oh, you think you're too much. You're being narcissistic. But no, it's just really finding the parts of you that you're like, I actually am a creator. I am a master. Rewind. When you are feeling rejected in some capacity, what's the polarity of it, and how can that shift, and how can that change, and what is, because when you do that, when you start to take radical responsibility, which I wrote in the post, I'll make sure to link it. When I wrote about radical responsibility, it means you're taking responsibility for the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the magnificent. You're taking responsibility for all of it and all your energy at all times and components of life. Sound good? Sound good? Okay, good. I want you ladies, I want you to tell me, are you having a hard time manifesting? For reals, like, are you having a hard time manifesting? Are things not going the way that you want them to go? Because I will tell you, it feels like the manifestation process is shifting and it's evolving and it's growing. And that's where the dark goddess part comes in. So step one, write this down. Step numero uno is to release and dissolve, release and let go. This is the scariest step, because when you do this step, that means you have to really trust. And what I'm saying by release, I'm saying releasing your limiting beliefs, your excuses, your ways you play safe, perhaps your codependency, perhaps your self-sabotage, perhaps the way that you binge eat at night, the way that you watch Netflix for like 4 hours, or watch The Good Witch like I did I watched 2 episodes yesterday. It wasn't that bad. But the dissolving process, the releasing, is letting you let go of what you think you're supposed to do. Like, I think in my head as a business owner, I'm supposed to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm supposed to meditate. And then I'm supposed to, write a bunch of content. And then I'm supposed to be at the computer all day until 5 o'clock. Like, this is like all the supposed to. But actually, I can dissolve that. I can let that go. That's like a very basic one. Let me give you an example about relationships. Okay, the big one, right? You date a man, you date him for 1 to 2 years. I always hear women, they're like, we dated for 2 years and then we got married, right? You date for 2 years, you get married, you have the 2.5 kids, and then you live happily ever after. That is the old construct. Well, what if you don't want kids? But what if you just want to be with different types of partners or different type of men? Or what if you actually want kids and you don't even want a partner? What if you just want someone to be a sperm donor? It's like you dissolving into what is there for you. What is it that you want? And when you get to let go of who you think you were supposed to be, you become who you truly are. Who you truly are in all aspects, in your voice, in the way you dress, in the way that you act, the way you behave, in everything. And that's when you become original. It's this like, I'm letting this go. And there will be tension, there will be friction, but it's like going under a wave. When a big wave comes and you're going to go under the wave, the thing is, the reason you want to dissolve this is because you want to be able to achieve and rise up to another frequency. You can't keep piling stuff on. You won't be able to hit that frequency that you want. The reason you want to hit that high frequency is when you hit that high frequency, that is where you begin to magnetize things. But in most business world, it will tell you like to learn more, to strategize more, to process more, when actually you need less. You need to shed it all off and you need less. And that is actually one of the most challenging and maybe sometimes a little bit hard process to do for people. Hold on. All right. Manifestation isn't something I've been considering lately, but feeling it in these last few days and excited for it. Okay, good. Yes, yes, yes. So dissolve is that. That is the first step. And I swear if you get this one, the other 2 steps are easy. And are you going to be crying a lot or being a sad? I put a sad, sexy fuck in your dissolve process. I don't know, maybe sometimes, because it can be really heartbreaking at times to see the world that you thought you were supposed to have, supposed to create, and then realize, actually, I don't want that. But on the other side of that is liberation. On the other side is magnetization. The other side is playing at this new level, this new level. Step number 2. I could talk about step number 1. Next time I'll probably do a whole live on step number 1. Okay, then step number 2 is the renewal and the awaken. This is the phase when you see a woman or on Instagram and she's got like the glowy skin. She like looks like her eyes are all clear. This part is where you feel completely liberated. It's like you are understanding your limbs more. You're understanding your energy. You're having this full body awakening. You're starting to dress a certain way. Perhaps you're like putting on more makeup, or you're putting less makeup. You're feeling that renewal. You're rested and refreshed, and you don't really care what others think about you. It's just like, oh, I had my power. Here's my power. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful to see it and to feel it. About 1.5 years ago, I had a really, really traumatic time with my husband, and I took a picture. We had like done this huge shift. It was like a weekend, and I took a picture of myself. I don't know why. I just took a picture of myself, and my eyes looked so clear. My skin looked clear. My lips looked cleared. It looked like I had been dunked in water, baptized by Mother Earth, like completely over and over and again. And this is the part where you start to learn your own process, learn your own creativity, learn your own systems, learn your own leadership way. You're like, okay, I like to do this. I'm going to stand for that. This is how it's going to happen. And that's the awakened state. And then step number 3. This is the restore and crystallize. Hold on. Let me take a deep breath. I get so excited talking about this stuff. Okay. Many of my clients, and even myself, we're sensitive beings, so we tend to bounce a lot. Our highs are highs and our lows are lows. And with this process, with the dark goddess, it's learning to solidify your process, solidify your nervous system, solidify your being, so you're not going so high and so low. That is what causes exhaustion. That's what it causes adrenal fatigue. That's what causes you to get sick. And that up and down is so tearing at the soul. It tears your soul apart. So what you're going to do is you've got to learn how to lock things in, lock in that frequency, lock in that energy. And I like to explain it like a plank. Have you ever done a plank and you've done it wrong? Like you kind of like your elbows frail out, your shoulders. If you do a plank correctly, fingers are spread wide, you hug your elbows in and up, you like tuck it in, and then you have your feet hip width distance and you're really strong. That's what it feels like. It's like a lock-in position. That's that restore and crystallize. So the ups and the downs are not so high, and you can feel your power, and you have a reserve, meaning if somebody triggers you or upsets you, you have that reserve. Or if you are like, things are not really planning out for me, you're just going to step back. Or things are going incredible, you're going to illuminate. And this is when you become all of you, and your process, in the way that you write, in the way that you create, in the way that you manifest, in the way that you put things out there, because you've locked it in. You've locked it in. And you've locked it in a sense where like, you feel, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I have to offer. I know what I have to give. And it's even beyond confidence. It's even beyond, excuse me, drink a lot of water. Okay, I'm not going to burp on a live. I'll say a bunch of other words, but I won't burp on a live. So Carissa, it is a sad, sexy fuck. I will talk about that in a little bit. Oh yeah, and then this is when like you celebrate, you expand, you really, really feel into your, what is the best way to describe this? Like your superwomanness. That's what it feels like. You're like, whew. And that is like the seat of the teacher. That is the deep, deep seat of the teacher when you're like, I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I got this. And that is the process. It is very, very simple. It is very fun. I love it. I love working with the dark goddess. I've never felt more seen, more heard, more safe with her energy, because I don't make myself wrong anymore. I don't make myself wrong. I don't make myself bad. I don't say as terrible things as I used to say to myself. I give myself full compassion and full autonomy of everything. And I also take responsibility for everything. I show up when I want to show up, and I show up when I'm not 100%. Today, technically, I'm supposed to be on my period, and I'm not 100%. I'm not in my ovulation phase when you're like Marilyn Monroe status. You're just oozing juicy vibes. I am not. I'm not. And I have done a couple masterminds before, but this is the time to really do something that is not out there. And this is the Dark Goddess Mastermind. It's a 3-month transformational journey from awaken to acceleration. This is for the individual that loves personal growth. Obviously, you love personal growth, but you actually want to embody it. You don't want to just learn it. I don't want to give you a ton of stuff. I want you to play with it, learn it. I want you to uncover that magic. I want you to use it. I want us to go into the quantum field. Like, I am talking all woo stuff here on us to really open your magnetic field for way more, for way, way, way more. And my last thing that I'm going to talk about is the sexy sad fuck. I feel like not anymore. This is such a good shift. I used to could say that was a very sad person. Like, people think I'm always happy and smiley, but I do have a lot of sadness, and I carry it at times, and especially around my cycle. But I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling her, I'm just a sexy sad fuck sometimes. And she cracked up. She laughed so hard. She was like rolling on the ground at the beach, because she's like, that is so funny. That's so true. Because your sexiness, your sadness is actually kind of sexy. Like, you could actually turn it into this like erotic play with it, of like crying and weeping. And then you're like, oh. And then you just like open yourself up. You open yourself up to a new experience. And that's where that depth and that's where that connection goes for the self, for yourself. And then other people start to feel it, because they're like, wow, she really knows herself. She really gets herself. Or you'll get the whole, she's really down to earth kind of comment. And your sexy sad fuck is actually pure medicine, because she gives you permission to feel it all. Feel it all. You can have all the emotions in 1 hour and one orgasm in one time, whatever you want to do. I've never talked about this publicly, but it's fun. I love talking about it. So let me know if you have any questions. I would love to connect with you and muse with you. And I will put the link to the mastermind below. Look at it, feel into it, connect with it. But I do highly, highly believe that your darkness is your pathway to all your desires, all of them. And do you have some maybe messed up desires? Maybe, perhaps, but how can you actually shift them to the light, if you want to shift them to the light? And just continue to flourish. All right, love you all.